My name is Chuck Laughlin. I'm the Family and Community Wellness Agent and Community Vitality for K-State Research and Extension in McPherson County. What we did when we got here is we started looking through the census data for all of the different cities in McPherson County. And what we discovered through there was that from the 2020, from the 2000 census, the city of Canton had been a declining population. Up to the 2020 census, where they had 685, where they were down from a high of about 900 plus. They are currently on a trend right now where they are projected to be in 2023 at 667 for their population. And by the 2030 census, they're projected to be down almost 25%. So there was a definite need in the city of Canton that they needed something done. Through that program, we went to the City of Canton City Council and worked with them to get them to approve joining up with the Kansas Community Empowerment Program, which for those who have been around a while, it's formerly the Kansas Pride Program. We also have put them into the First Impressions Program. The First Impressions Program is one of those where we'll take community members from the City of Canton. They have now been matched up with the City of Leon. And we will take people from the City of Canton. They will go to the City of Leon and they'll do just a first impression visit. So they go around the town just looking at what is the first impression of that town. We'll also have then people from the City of Leon that will be coming to the City of Canton and doing that same thing. Those results will be coming out later on. We will be hosting another community meeting as a follow-up where we'll be able to share those results. We conducted a comprehensive community-wide survey for residents of the City of Canton and for those who did business in the City of Canton or went to the City of Canton for some reason. Through that process, we were able to get 169 surveys returned, which was a phenomenal return rate. What we did then was I took and compiled all of those results, and we had a meeting on June 27th with residents from the city. We had over 80 residents that were in attendance for that night, where we shared out the results of those surveys. We had flip charts around the board where we had 6 primary themes that really shone through the results of the survey. And what we found in there was people were looking at community engagement. They want to get together. They want to find things that they can do to build a stronger community. We found that we needed to work with economic development. So they want to build new businesses in the City of Canton. So that was another strong theme coming through. Another one was infrastructure. We've got some problems with some city water. We've got problems with some streets in the City of Canton. And we're going to need to be finding a solution to work on those. Can it be overnight? No. But we've got to develop that strategic plan to start working in that. Housing will be one of those things that we'll be looking at as well. They had a big need for young families, also a need for duplexes and condos, senior housing, nursing home, assisted living were big themes that came through as well. We also had parks and recreation or beautification projects. Canton is blessed with 3 very nice parks that are in need of some tender loving care. So developing a plan of what do they want to see in there, how can we enhance those programs? Lots of requests for sports programs, community activities for youth and adults and seniors in the city. So how can we develop those and bring those through? And then the last of the 6 themes that came through was preservation. And those are the things that people hold dear in the City of Canton. They're the things that really make Canton what it is. And those are the things that as we go through this process, people in the community had a resounding fact that they wanted to hold on to those things. We asked the residents that night to put on their card as they were leaving which of those that they would like to be on for a committee as we start getting together and working through that process. Well, one thing that we have also looked at in our process here was the fact that a lot of small rural communities where normally before the pandemic, they were struggling. They would find maybe two big projects they needed to do, and they were having to split their funding that they had between the two. All of a sudden, the pandemic hit. Well, contractors weren't coming out. They weren't sending people out to do big projects that small communities needed. And so now all of a sudden we've come out of the pandemic and we have 5, 6, 7, 8 projects that need done, and there's just not the money to split between those. And so that's where the grant funding, having a strategic plan, is going to help out with that. And grant funds aren't available all the time, anytime. And so that's where we're going to have to put the project in, put it on the timeline, and try and get it available so that we can be ready when the funds become available, that we're ready to submit for those funds and we have the ideas of what needs to be done instead of having to figure out what needs to be done when a grant becomes available. So it's kind of like the frog syndrome, where you put the frog in the pot of water and then you turn the stove on. That's what's been happening with the city of Canton. They've been in the water, now the water's starting to boil. And it's, okay, something's got to get done. We didn't get here overnight. The water didn't start boiling overnight. So it's not going to be an overnight process that we're going to get out of this. We do still have options available for committees. So if somebody wants to take part in one of our committees for that, they can email me at Laughlin, LAUGHLIN @ksu.edu. And we could get them on the list as we start to do those committees, which with the fairs coming up, we'll probably be looking at those will start in August.